Hey everybody, welcome back. Got game number 3 for you here from the SK Gaming Champions Trophy Grand Finals Best of 5 match series from the month of May. We have SeleCT spawning this time in the 12 o'clock position with his back up against his opponent QXC down in the 2 o'clock position on Metalopolis. So we could have some back and forth aerial action here today. Of course, you can actually get both base areas on one screen here, so it could lead to some very fast Banshee. Of course, that would be pretty easy to dodge in and out, get the gas, but once you get in here to the mineral, it's a little bit more difficult because you're going to have to expose yourself to this area right here, and not a lot of room to dodge back up. But another thing we could see, drops. Certainly a chance for that. And, you know, actually we could also have the game go extremely long. Most of the games that I've actually cast on this map are either about 10-15 minutes long or close to an hour long. And that's because when I say that referring to these two starting positions, or these two down here. But with your back against your opponent like that, if you can hold off the initial aggression, you're going to be expanding away from your opponent. Now this expansion, pretty easy to get to. There's one main pathway right here, just zip right on down the road, and you're there. But then you get down here, and you're even farther away from your opponent, so that means your opponent has to travel so much longer. And then same thing down here, and by the time they get down here, it's a ridiculous travel distance. And you've got to cross one or both of the watchtowers if you head down the middle. Only way they could avoid that is heading way over here on the left. But you could obviously put some units over here and guard that. Either way, by the time you end up over here, you're usually at the 30-minute mark or so, and going to be eventually fighting over the high yields, which can be pretty nasty to hold. So I'm really excited about this game, especially after game number 1, man. I'll tell you what, that was just an exciting back-and-forth match series. I know I mentioned it in game number 2, but if you haven't already watched the first couple games, go give them a shot. So that way you're not spoiled or anything like that. Because right now we are 1-1, so either player could take 2 games in a row, including this one, come out ahead in the tournament, get themselves that $250 grand prize. We saw them open actually with very similar builds, both of them going with 1 Rax gas, okay, and then over here, both of them dropping a factory. Poor SCV gets taken out right there. SeleCT, of course, very quick on that. Does not want to give away his strategy at all. And QXC, he's been a little bit more liberal with his Marines. He's got them way down here, one way over here, and one guarding the road, and of course the third one coming down here, which I think actually might be headed to the watchtower. But you got to keep in mind, SeleCT has a couple Marines of his own coming down here, and he could easily overpower his opponent, especially with that SCV. See, the SCV didn't even have to move right there, man. He's just like, whatever, I see it, I don't care. I am amazing up here, so I'm just going to keep hanging out. Factory is going to finish at around the same time for both players. Now, what I'm wondering next, are we going to see him transition to a starport for both of them? Okay, QXC, he's got the starport. And, QXC actually suffering some pretty heavy Marine losses there. That SCV absorbing a nice bit of fire. The damage that FCV absorbed, actually, if that had gone into that Marine, would have been down one, might have been a little bit of a different fight. Of course, that Marine there, don't think QXC actually targeted that one. Didn't see him select it. But we did see him, watch the Hellion there. Very close and dying. Very close to death. 6 hit points. One more shot. Whew, okay, there we go. And now should be able to repair it. Not to have too much more difficulty. So we're definitely going to be seeing some Banshee play coming from QXC here. There's the starport. There's the Banshee. Everything's looking good there. And what are you doing? QXC, you silly player, you're not supposed to build the factory in his base. Well, now then, QXC is known for his creative play. You see, he's already rallied the first one to head over to the smoke there, try to get away without letting him have a free shot. And you see, he's actually doing some pretty nice damage to the mineral line there, taking out maybe 1 SCV. Oh, yes, okay, he does get 1 SCV. But you see, he's actually got another Hellion on the way. Craziness! And here comes another Hellion in the ramp. Oh man, didn't do a whole lot of damage though. You see, he's actually done a lot of partial damage. So there we go. QXC, another Hellion to be doing even more damage in the mineral line. SeleCT, his Hellions, they just don't know where to go, man. They're running circles around the base. There we go. Now that one's going to be going down. And QXC with another one, though. And Select just can't do anything about it. And now we have the Banshee here, ready to do tons of damage. However, the problem is Select already has a Viking out. So that's going to kind of put a damper on the whole plan there that QXC had, hoping to get in there and do a ton of harassment. The mineral line, after keeping Select on his toes for a while, with the Hellions, you see he's still doing it. He's still producing those Hellions from the factory in Select's base. What a play indeed, as we see finally the factory, that hero factory, is forced to retreat. And we see, of course, that Viking right there. 1 kill, 1 Banshee. Very sad day indeed for QXC, having lost that Banshee early. But this time he is going in with cloaking, and now Select has a Banshee of his own coming out, so he is going to cloak, hit that Marine, and the energy right there, not so much, but he definitely has a turret, so he's not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage. It was revealed there for just a brief moment, and now Select is looking to do an attack of his own. He does have 3 Hellions ready this time, compared to 1 Marine in QXC's base. That's about it, so he's going to be under a lot of pressure here to make this Marauder pay for itself. Not going to be super effective, though, as he actually dies very quickly. And oh man, look at that lineup with the SCV's beautiful fiery death. Poor QXC losing tons of SCVs there, as I think he actually did end up losing that Banshee up there. But, no, there we go. Hellion's going down, but still, I just really don't think that QXC... Okay, there's that Banshee from up there. I don't think that QXC is going to be able to come back from this. He's got detection, he's got 1 Marine, and there's the GG. Sure enough, there we go. Game 3 goes to Select. Very nicely played. Very good response there, getting that Viking first. I like that a lot. Little interesting strategy there at the factory. It's QXC, though. Not too surprised. Let's go on to game number 4, see if it's going to be a shutout, or if could go on to game number 5. I don't know. You'll have to stay tuned.